always look forward to.
Definitely.
Tobago, you know, our independence parade may not be as large as Trinidad, but it is special and grand in its own way. And it means a lot to us here on the island. So good morning, Assistant Superintendent.
Pleasant day.
And welcome to GMT this morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful day.
Definitely. So before we get into talking about the regulations and traffic changes that, of course, we expect around this time every year, tell us a little about where you are assigned to, what you do in TTPS, and, you know, a little bit about your stay, because I understand you're not from Tobago, but you are now Tobago. So tell us a little.
You say that there, and a lot of people ask me, you know, how is Tobago treating you?
Yes.
You know, it's a beautiful place. You know, I love the atmosphere.
Right.
But I'm not a stranger.
Right, definitely.
About 3.5 months,
okay,
I was assigned to Tobago as the ASP, Assistant Superintendent, Tobago East. That's Mariah, Roxborough, and Charlottesville.
Okay.
You understand? Wonderful capacity with the police team. And all we can do as persons assigned here is to work with, to lift, and to develop the capacity more of the Tobago police.
Definitely. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, it's a big day for Twin Island Republic, celebrating our 62nd year of independence from Crown Colony British rule. And one of the marks of celebration is our Independence Day parade on this island. So I want firstly for you to maybe just go through the steps in terms of what time the parade is expected to begin, what time it ends, and viewers, I understand there's a change, a bit of a change, so let's listen now. We will get the information, all right, and of course we will talk about some of the restrictions coming into Scarborough. Again, we are accustomed to this, so don't get upset when the officer closes off the road by Rockley Vale and you find it too early that it closed off. Let's cooperate, all right, but let's get the information from the expert this morning. So tell us a little about start time, end time, and what to expect tomorrow.
What the viewers ought to know is that months now we have been planning to have this event unfold.
Right.
And the safety and security is of paramount importance. We do understand the climate. We know it's uncomfortable, but we don't want to inconvenience anyone. We do know that we need the support of the members of the public. So we're going to encourage persons to come out tomorrow.
Of course.
Show your national colors. I love Independence Day. I normally take my kids to a location in Port of Spain, and we sit down and we just watch the parade pass, because I think we need that sense of fresh air.
So this would be your first parade in Tobago?
In Tobago.
All right.
And I'm eagerly anticipating.
Yes.
You know?
So you're going to have a blast.
Because I've been part of the rehearsals, and, you know, the men and women are doing a really good job. So I think we are prepared to have a very lively and powerful event tomorrow. So I'm encouraging persons, come out, enjoy yourself.
What about safety? What should we as persons coming out to view the parade be aware of?
You will see a heightened police military presence. It's important because we have a lot of activities on the road where the parade is going to be passing along to enter into Scarborough. So don't be dismayed. It's important that we do have security blanket.
And let's do route, because of course we know it starts, we call the parade ground, the stadium, Dwight York Stadium in Bacolet.
The parade starts at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Of course, the contingents would be there early, preparing themselves.
Of course.
And at the Bacolet ground in Scarborough there, right, just before the Dwight York Stadium.
Yes.
Certain dignitaries are going to enter, and certain protocol established. And we're going to have that march past from the Bacolet ground, west along the Claude Noel, to enter left onto Wilson Road.
Right.
The parade will dismiss where the car park at the Scarborough port is. So people have a lot of opportunity to present themselves along the route. We don't want parking along the route. It's a security concern, obviously. But people can come out, their flags, their colors, just along the route there, into Scarborough, and things are going to be good.
Right. So I just want to zoom in on the end of the parade, because I think I heard a new endpoint. We're accustomed to the parade
at Gardenside.
At Gardenside car park, but you mentioned the port car park. So that's the car park where vehicles will usually park to go onto the
that is
ferry.
Correct.
All right. So
it would be a no-enter zone for members of the public.
Right.
Obviously, due to the fact that we have a security issue there.
Now, the ending of the parade is a highlight for many of the persons, because you know, you get the music, the bands, and they show off a bit when the parade is about to be dismissed.
Yes.
How will those attending the parade, you know, now be able to experience that, because the port car park will be restricted to those who are coming to view, because it's just for those on the parade to, you know, gather there and end. So how will
but the
now
side
that
streets
change?
would not be.
Right.
Even though we are restricting to a point vehicular traffic, especially within that port side there, members of the public can present themselves and take a view.
And watch the parade go into the car park.
That is right.
And it ends there. Because the excitement is on the road.
From the start.
Right. Yes?
Natalie, from the start.
Yes. So let's talk a bit now about traffic restrictions. What's the drivers coming in? We know we have businesses in Scarborough. It's back to school, so some of the businesses are going to be opened. Of course, many of them may have adjusted their opening time because they know everybody's going to the parade and they may do their shopping after.
Yes.
What type of traffic restrictions are we looking at now upon entering that vicinity of downtown Scarborough, or even as the outskirts as Rockleyville? Because I know sometimes they close off that Rockleyville area as well.
Yes. Some people would be familiar with the restrictions, but just to highlight, due to the fact that we have that security flow with the armed and unarmed contingent along the route, vehicular traffic, based on legal notice number 152, signed off by our Commissioner of Police, Ms. Christopher. What I can tell you is that downtown-wise,
and viewers, I want you to pay attention, because many times, you know, we would say, I didn't hear anything, I didn't know. So let's try and get it. And as I say, many of us are used to it. We understand what's expected. Usually I would leave home so much earlier just so I can go and park conveniently before the streets are closed off, you know. And so let's hear what the restrictions are.
Well, let's look at the Claude Noel Highway side, okay? Between Bacolet Street and Wilson Road, it's closed off. Friendsfield Road between Dwight York Parade Grounds and Calder Hall, closed off. Milford Road between Dutchford Junction and Sangstead Hill, it's closed off. Now, we know it's going to be fluid on that particular day, so we're asking members of the public to pay attention to the directions of the officers who are on the ground.
And what about those who are living in the neighborhood? They may need to leave, or they worked night before and they are now coming home after
Just communicate with the officers. We do know when the parade is passing, just to hold a bit, just exercise some patience. But once they communicate their issue with the officers on the ground, we can make amends there. All right? We have the entering the Claude Noel Highway from Bagatelle number 2, Calder Hall Road, Rockleyville, Darrell Spring Road, Wilson Road, Carrington Street, Milford Road. Entering into Scarborough, some restrictions. East of Bacolet Street along Claude Noel Highway, vehicles should turn left onto Bacolet Street and continue west into Scarborough. West of Orange Hill Road along Claude Noel Highway shall turn right onto Orange Hill. And we have from the North Side Road, vehicles shall proceed south across the Claude Noel Highway onto Upper Scarborough. From Calder Hall, vehicles shall proceed south across the Claude Noel Highway to Scarborough. Again, based on the fluidity of the situation, just pay attention to the officer's directions.
And for those of you who didn't understand the restrictions, because sometimes it may sound complicated.
It's accessible via...
It's going to be on their social media pages, I would suspect. And of course, we would also post it on our Facebook page. But all you have to do is cooperate with the police officers.
Thank you very much.
If you are driving and you didn't realize the street was going to be closed at X time, and the officer stops you, and I hope cordially has a conversation with you and redirect, because we know sometimes the sun is hot. Like right now, the officer and I, we are feeling the sun in all her glory, and usually Independence Day is like that. We may have rain sometimes to start off, and then, you know, the sun comes out. You know, just adhere to the directions. Given if you don't understand, ask the officer quite politely, can you repeat for me, and try to get it, and just follow the instructions.
I think what people have a hesitation with is that they see the uniform, they don't want to approach.
And most of us don't like, we don't like an inconvenience. Although we know we're having the parade, we know year after
just
year.
Talk to us. Just talk to us. It's human beings in uniform, though. Just talk to us. Once we know the situation, we listen, and we cooperate.
But I like when these senior members of the police force come and sit with us and have these conversations. But sometimes we know, and this is not to bash the service, but we know that sometimes there are individuals who may not represent, you know, TTP
and
as
that's
well.
All sectors, not.
Yes, of course. You always
Within
have the bad apples in every way. You have them in the nursing profession, teaching anyway. We understand that. But it's always, you know, interesting to hear from top up, you know, speak about how customer service is important, and how you
we do have a policy on customer service now.
Right, but some, you know, just don't get it. And we look forward to the improvement, and we always hear updates, you know, about that. So that's very important. But we have to do our parts as the general public. Let's follow the instructions. Be cordial as well, because some of us, when we see the uniform, we get a little excited. All right, so let us just follow the instructions. It's going to be a beautiful day. And I just want us to just touch, because I know some of our viewers may be Seventh-day Adventists who fellowship at the Good News SDA Church in downtown Scarborough. And they may be concerned in terms of accessing church. Is there another route? And again, I think you made it clear, where just follow the instruction of the officers.
That particular situation, please speak to the officers.
Right, and of course we know if it is you are in transit, because I think service begins around 9:15, 9:30 a.m. If the parade is anywhere nearby, you know you have to find an alternative route. And the good thing about that is you do have alternative routes to get to service if you can't pass your regular Wilson roadside and come into town. All right. So if I can allow you just to greet our viewers with Independence wishes, because we're wrapping up, and I know tomorrow is going to be a full day for you.
Yes, it's going to be.
All right, even leading up to the preparation today, I'm sure you have a busy agenda. So if you can, now is your time to send wishes to our viewers.
I'm encouraging members of the public to come out. I think we need this breath of fresh air. We understand that over the last few weeks, especially on the island of Tobago, we have been touched by criminal activity. We understand as well that the fear of crime is a factor. We are paying attention, we are listening, and we are acting. From the top level of the TTPS, top level of the Tobago Police, we are committed in bringing a more sense of safety and security on the island. So bear with us, work with us. If you see something, say something. We have the Avenue 555, 800 tips, 999. Okay? We're there for you.
All right. Thank you so much, Superintendent, for spending this morning with us and taking the hot sun with me to share the information. And again, welcome to Tobago.
Thank you for the time.
And viewers, of course, I encourage you to stay tuned. On the other side of the break, we have another interesting guest, Miss Sophia Cooper. And if you don't know who she is, you're not living in Tobago. And just perhaps if you are visiting and you're wondering who she is, stay tuned. You will definitely meet on the other side of the break. Thank you, viewers, for choosing GMT this morning. See you after the break.
Thank you.